Hi everybody, Craig here. Welcome to the 8th episode of my first Age of Wonders 3 playthrough series. In this series I'm playing as the Frostling Necromancer Draezad Doomgaze. And let's kind of recap here what happened in episode 7. So I believe in episode 6, I was able to take out the first of my AI opponents. I was able to take out Sundrin, and I got her to surrender and I took her city over. And then in the next episode, in episode 7, I was able to initiate combat against Grelka Greenclaw, the Orc Archdruid, and my army was so powerful that she actually surrendered as well, and I was able to take her throne city in addition. So we now have access to Grelka's main city as well as Grelka herself right here. So we're doing very well. We basically just have one opponent left to deal with, and that is Baradir the Bald, who's a Dwarf Warlord, and he's underground here. I kind of know where he is. I don't know where his throne is, but I'm definitely going to want to start advancing on his territory and really putting the pressure on him, as it were. So that's what I'm going to start to do. Now, before I do that, though, I want to give a special shout out to ZShoot84. So ZShoot actually, he left a lot of really useful comments on a number of the episodes so far. Many things that I missed. He pointed out some really useful tactics and strategies and other things that I think not just myself but other members of the Age of Wonders 3 community, anybody who's interested in playing this game, take a peek at those comments. They're really insightful, and I really appreciated all the things he had to say. So just to recap a few of kind of probably the biggest things that I've missed that he's indicated here. The first and most important is I've been having all this economy trouble. So as you can see, my gold income has been perennially in the negatives. So in order to offset that, one of the main comment suggestions was actually to make a builder and take advantage of all of these resource structures that I've been clearing. So this one in particular isn't cleared, but a lot of these structures have been cleared out of units, like all of these gold here. And so I could use the builder to essentially make some fortresses to expand my domain and really increase my gold income. So that's something that I'd like to get on here ASAP. So I'm definitely going to do that. I think to start that here, we're actually going to stop production of the Glacial Totem, and we're just going to focus on we don't want the settler, we want the Frostling Builder. There we go. Relatively cheap as well, so we'll get the builder going in our throne city, and we can have a structure here to take in this mana and gold income, and then we can also, let's see where else, could potentially expand other places with the builder and again increase our gold income. So that's the first thing. The other comment that ZShoot84 had left that I thought was really good was this idea of using the summonable lost souls that I have access to. So these guys here, essentially what he suggested is you can get this really early in the game, summon a few of them, and then send them out to scout the map and find AI controlled cities, so like independent cities that are far away from my empire. So again, at the beginning of the game I started here, this was my throne city. He suggested then essentially hunting down these like cities over here, these independent cities, and casting undead plague on those cities to siphon off population back into my cities, and also kind of stem the growth of cities that are eventually going to be acquired by my opponents, so the AI opponents, the leaders. And I thought that was absolutely brilliant, because not only would that help offset the slow growth of these undead cities, but it would also kind of handicap my opponents, and I'd also get a little more bang for my buck there when it comes to basically scouting. So I would know where more things are and maybe be able to nab more treasure structures or something like that. Then the other one that he had mentioned, and this is something I've been trying to kind of do, but is using Curse to improve the odds of Ghoul Curse. So for example, if I'm trying to Ghoul Curse with my Deathbringer, if I can throw either using my Reanimators to inflict despair or curse with their attacks, or using the Revenant Caster, for example, to use throw curse, that will actually make, you can see here, it gives them -2 resistance. Well, the Ghoul Curse is a resistance check, so if their resistance is decreased, they're going to be more susceptible, more likely to be Ghoul Cursed. So again, thanks again to Z-Shoot, and just kind of a shout out for him. Those were all really good tips. So, and again, you know, for anybody else watching, feel free to leave comments, give suggestions. This is how, you know, I get better. This is how other people watching and reading the comments can get better. It's kind of a way for us all to sort of learn from each other's you know, knowledge and experience in this game, because as I stated before, you know, I'm by no means an expert. I'm gradually getting better, but it's taking a while. But anyway, enough of that. Let's get back to the action here. So again, last time we left off, a lot of things had happened. So I had my armies here. I had Draezad. We'd acquired this tier 4 stone giant, which was just freaking incredible. I was very happy to acquire him. And we have enough to kind of produce our own little offshoot units here for additional cities we're going to try and conquer. I believe we're in the middle of vassaling. Yes, we are. Let's see what else we had going on. And then I think in the Shadow Realm we actually had a few things going on. Right. We had the potential here for what could be a Shadow Elf city, my first Shadow Elf city. So we're definitely going to proceed there. But when we left this turn, Draezad still had some movement. So now let's see, have we gone to the Shadow Realm here? No, we haven't. So I could potentially send Draezad to the Shadow Realm to explore. It also might be nice to kind of come in and clean this up a little more. There's a roving unit there that I'm a little bit afraid of. So I think, you know what, I think we're gonna... let's take a peek. So Nordrift isn't particularly well reinforced here, as you can see. I've got just a tier 1 melee unit, some Lost Souls, and a Ice Scraper. That's probably not enough to deal with this if it was to attack. My capital is no better. Just 3 units here, all these tier 1s and a tier 2. So I maybe should deal with this, but again, the risk taker in me wants to kind of send my unit into the Shadow Realm, so I think we're going to do that. Oh, and here we go. We've got another Shadow Elf city, so that will be interesting. I think we're going to again try and take that for sure. We'll tell Grelka and her unit to stay there guarding the city. Now last time we also had, oops, sorry about that. There we go. We had a unit that we had sent through this portal here with that bone dragon that I had acquired. So this was again just to kind of do some exploration. Some pretty strong units there. So let's see what we can find here. This is again fairly foreign to me. I haven't really done much in the Shadow Realm yet. So we'll see here. There's an ancient rune site in the... Okay, we should be able to handle that. We'll do our first battle of the episode here. Okay, so why don't we let's use the breath attack, I think, and we'll soften them up a little bit. Ooh, actually, they're pretty resistant to it, so maybe we'll just throw our Ghoul Ogre in there. I think we're going to actually throw our Wraith on there, and then use our... Can we do this? Yes, we can. We can hit both. Let's do that. Oh, we didn't quite get the kill. I was hoping for a higher roll there, but that's alright. Oh, and of course they webbed us. And there's that lifesteal doing its job, as you can see. They've both used their web, so I guess we'll just kill off the one that's weakened. Ouch. Well, that ogre still has some health, so not too catastrophic. Drop that heal just to heal up that unit, and then we'll finish off the spider babies there. You'll have to excuse if my voice sounds a little fried. I was talking quite a bit today. I had some presenting I had to do, so If I sound a little different than usual, that would be why. In this case here, I think we're going to sell just to boost our gold income, because we don't really need these tools, and that extra little research is pretty minor. So we're going to sell that off. So let's see. Where would we want to explore next with this unit? So we've got some options here. Looks like there's a city to the north, so maybe that may be on another island, but I think we'll kind of start heading north and see where we go. There we go. I guess we'll move one over there as well. I really like the aesthetics of the Shadow Realm. I think it's very, very attractive. It looks quite cool. So this was Wozek. He's underground. His army here is quite powerful, and they're gaining experience quite rapidly. Once we've kind of established our foothold, I think we're really going to start pushing to try and attack Baradir underground here. So let's kind of keep this going here. We'll raid this lost library. I think maybe we'll try and recruit another undead unit either. Well, the reanimator we won't be able to ghoul curse, but one of these apprentice units maybe we can ghoul curse. So I think that's what we'll go for. Okay, so let's see. I think again, we have to remember with this unit I can't revive anybody, so I can't be as gung-ho as I sometimes like to be. You know what? We are going to hit this Orc Apprentice. I was hoping maybe I'd curse them. Let's see. I don't think anybody else. Okay. I think we'll throw our Wraith unit in there like this. Yeah, not in too much danger. We'll get our greatsword in, although I have to be careful with the greatsword because of the inherent damage kind of, or the magic weakness, I should say, that orcs have due to that lower resistance. We'll soften up the Storm Sister there. And actually, maybe it's worth just getting a kill here. There we go. So now the question is, do I want to drop my Deathbringer in? I think I do. Let's go for a Ghoul Curse. Okay, we got it. Fantastic. Let's see what happens here. Okay, we got cadavers. Oh, they managed to dispel the Ghoul Curse. Okay, let's try one more time. Oh, we got it again. Perfect. I really do like orcs for that because of their lower resistance. They tend to be a little easier to Ghoul Curse. Okay, and then we got another Ghoul Curse on the other set of apprentice units there, so that worked out quite well for us. We can take one of those with us and maybe send the other up to be a base guard. So we've got Black Lightning, that's great. Now we have another spell that we can actually use in battle, and then we get some research. So again, I'm a big fan of those lost libraries. I find raiding them to just be really useful at jump-starting your research, because you'll get spells that you normally wouldn't maybe have access to as early, or ones that you may not want to spend the time actually researching. And again, this is some portals to the Shadow Realm, which I don't think I haven't explored those at all, so could be worth seeing where this one goes. Got a Forbidden Sanctum here. Could be worth exploring, although I don't think I'm quite strong enough for that with this unit, but let's take out, we got some more orcs here. Maybe I could recruit a Black Knight. That would actually be quite nice to have a tier 2 cavalry. Let's try it. We'll send the Wraith in to initiate the battle. Let's see if we can maybe snag some of these orcs for our army here. And again, we're eventually going to use this to make the push north to take out Baradir, so we want to really build up our forces. Okay, I do have to watch, because this unit's going to really want to probably come in and push pretty aggressively with its charge. So let's see. Yeah, that movement on that is pretty incredible. So our greatsword is kind of beat up, so we'll have to be careful with him. I think what we'll do is we'll put our unit there to make the cavalry have to run a little bit further around. And you know what? We may actually even guard up our ranged unit. And then I think we'll bring our hero in and we'll kind of turtle up a little bit just to play it a little bit safer perhaps here on this battle. As strong as these units are starting to become, I don't want to risk anything and lose them here, so especially since I don't have the ability to revive. I do have lesser reanimate undead, but if my tier 3s go down, there's nothing I can do. So we were lucky here. We got the Ghoul Curse on these Black Knights, which was, again, exactly what I was hoping for. So there we go. That's going to be a nice tier 2 unit to add to our army. So now we just have a couple of these little tier 1s to take out. That's going well. There we go. Let's see, get some War Cry on here. Not quite the kill, but pretty close. Oh, and I should have moved them in to get the kill, but that's okay. I'll just use the ability here. There we go. Oof. Yeah, that was kind of close, but it's okay. We can drop a nourishing... Actually, we can do two things here. We can drop a heal, first of all, which is pretty solid, and then we'll drop in a nourishing meal as well, just to make sure they're nice and healthy. Now they're engaged in melee combat, which they're not going to enjoy that much, because those Wraith units are pretty disgusting. Once they have lifesteal, they can dish out a ton of damage and just tank hits for days. Okay, so do we have any units in here we'd want to recruit? Might be nice to get an Ice Queen, but the gold cost is too high, so I think we will hold off on buying anybody. And thanks to that battle, we have this Black Knight unit, so let's just proceed back. Okay, so that takes care of that. Now we had this spider. I think I was using this as basically a little scout. What does this correspond to? Okay, so this is in the underground portals next to the next to the Goblin City. Yeah, so let's see if there's anything else worth exploring down here. So you can see in the Shadow Realm, there's like little islands kind of walkable terrain, and then there's the void as well, which doesn't seem to be traversable. Okay, so this connects up to where Draezad is, essentially. Okay, interesting. So our turn is basically finished. So let's see what happens. I'm especially interested in what this unit does. I really hope we don't have to fight for our city once again. I've lost those cities enough times. I don't really want to have to do that again. Okay, it looks like the unit is kind of just hovering there, as you saw. I am definitely going to have to deal with it, though. I don't like it sitting there. So what I think I'm going to do is use this unit to press in, take this city out, and then I'll loop them around back and come in to support and maybe take this guy out if I can. Okay, so a lot has happened here. We forged an alliance, and that actually produced a ton of units there to protect this dwelling. We now have positive gold income, which is fantastic. Let's see what else happened. We finished our swift migration research, which is great if we take more cities and we want to convert them into Frostling or whatever else. Soth produced an Embalmer's Guild. That's good. Okay. Let's figure out research maybe first here. So we've got a couple of choices. Newly migrated cities get a big boost for 5 turns. That's quite nice. Great Disjunction. Depending if Baradir starts throwing stuff at us, that could be very useful. Actually, another comment that Z-Shoot had actually mentioned was using Animate Ruins in conjunction with Pillage and Raise. So again, being able to basically just rebuild the city right after you've pillaged it That could be kind of a nice 1-2 combo of taking the city down and then rebuilding it. So this is actually, again, a very useful spell. I think I'm going to do that because it only takes the 1 turn. So we'll get that one out of the way just to have it. Okay, so Sundrin has leveled up here. Let's see. All units gain wall climbing. I'm not as familiar with rogues. I tend to not... I have nothing against rogues in general in this game, but they're not really my favorite heroes. I just don't find them to be nearly as useful, especially playing against the AI opponents. I think maybe against human opponents they might have a little more value, but again, feel free to leave in the comments if you're a real rogue fan, how you like using them. So I'm a big fan of those abilities that give bonuses to the whole squad, so I think we'll go there. Okay, so we've now got a lot of cities, which is good. It means we have a lot to do, but let's focus on some of our units. So again, this was the Shadow Realm path. Actually, here, yeah, let's use Sheila here. So she's in the Shadow Realm. I think we're gonna pretty much press right in on this city here. So unfortunately we've got pretty dense vegetation, which is going to make it harder for us to move in, but yeah, we're going to start getting in close to this city. Be real nice to take it out. You know, geez, I could just send Sheila and the Node Serpent in to take the city out, and you know, I think they could probably do it. Get that city 1 turn faster. Oh boy, that's tempting. Let's see, what are we fighting? So we got a tier 1 Shadow Elf Night Guard, Pikeman units, and an Archer. Doesn't look like the city has a wall. You know what? Again. Oh, and they got another unit. Jeez. Okay, well that unit's not in the city, so let's take advantage of that. Again, I'm playing a little risky here, but that's okay. I really want to try and take advantage of this and get my first city in the Shadow Realm. So these Shadow Elves are all new units to me. I'm not really familiar with them. So we're going to charge right in. Arcane arrows. I wondered, those must have a shock effect. Yeah, they do. Yeah, but of course, because it's a Node Serpent, it's resistant to them. Wow, that was pretty powerful. Okay, what I would really like to do is to actually get these archers on my team here with a Ghoul Curse, so let's try that out. Oh, just one-shotted them. Oh, and looks like we're gonna get another chance here, so let's give it a shot. Oh, we got our pikeman unit at least, so that'll be a nice base guard. There we go. Actually, you know what? We're gonna leave the Node Serpent there, because that way, if this unit gets attacked, the Node Serpent will come with, because otherwise that unit might get killed. Yeah, and this unit's fine, just hanging out like that. So again, normally I would migrate, but I am very excited to have a Shadow Elf village. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to ghoul the city. And I don't mind waiting, but that's why I wanted to get it 1 turn earlier, because it's going to be a bit of a slog. I'm very interested just to see how what the Night Elves, or Shadow Elves I should say, what the Shadow Elves have for units and things like that. So this will be a fun little exercise. Okay, so let's see who else we have to move around. So we've got Wozek here, so he's got movement we got to deal with. So why don't it? You know, it could be fun exploring the Shadow Realm down here, but I'm kind of thinking I want to start really pressing my attack on Baradir and start moving up. Also, I could clear out some of these structures, I think, maybe. So let's move. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. So we're going to move Wozek up this way. And I'm going to throw that Black Knight unit in with Wozek here, I think. It's pretty good army. Now these two units, what I could do actually is maybe I'll send the Orc. I guess it doesn't matter which one I send. I'll send the Orc into the Shadow Realm just to do a quick scouting and see what's there. And then I'll send the other one up to guard the city. Oh, did we finish the builder in our throne city? Yes, we did. So that's very exciting. I think the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go over here and build a structure to, again, obtain some more gold. Now, one thing you might notice here is that this structure, actually, I forgot to clear it, so I may have to build myself a little force there to do that. So speaking of that, why don't we use these guys here, and we'll clear out this city. Yeah, we're going to just trespass right on in. Shouldn't be too challenging. We'll take the spider and initiate the battle. So for this battle, I think we're probably going to use the spider a fair bit. We're going to use the Yeti. It's nice having that shaman unit as well. Oh, I guess I could have used Awakened Spirit. I think we'll do that. There we go. So the spider can climb the wall, I think, without too much trouble. I think maybe we'll kind of go around, though, because once it starts to climb the wall, it's going to be a bit of a challenge. Because it's going to probably get attacked while it's climbing. Although I suppose, you know, I could use Phase next turn to just jump over the wall, which I maybe should do. Now, of course, these units are going to have fire weakness here, being Yetis, and ghouls. So, yeah, moving in is going to get kind of scary with these draconian hatchlings, but I would like to kind of draw some of the fires, so I think I'm going to kind of try and spread them out a little bit here. There we go. Okay, that's totally fine. Now, when we phase, I don't know if we actually have any points left to do anything. That's the real question. Would it be better to just climb the wall, maybe? This is kind of a tricky battle without a hero to really offer protection. I think we'll send the Yeti into nice hit on the gate there. We'll bring our human shaman in to kind of back up the Yeti. You know what? Why don't we just take the gate out? There's a good idea. Yeah. And I mean, it'll get a free attack on us here, but that's not the end of the world. And we'll send our White Witch over. I think we're going to kind of back off with our Royal Guard because the Royal Guard's taking some punishment. Let's see what happens here. Oof. That's okay. Now we can drop some heals. So that worked out actually quite well. Now the question is, would it be better to dish out some punishment or drop a heal? I think in this instance, how much movement do we have? So I think we'll just maybe get the kill here. Yeah, because I don't think they're going to be able to, even with the, yeah, they're not going to be able to kill the Yeti. They'll severely wound the Yeti, but they won't kill it, which is okay. And then a Hunter Spider here. We could try for the web. Got a very good chance of getting it. There we go. Okay, no problems there. Now we get to drop some nice heals and then move in for the kill there. And I think we'll actually move in before we try to heal again, because that's not going to finish, and then we can try and get the finish. Ooh, not quite. Well, we'll be very, very close. Again, I don't think they're going to be able to kill. No. Not a problem then. Then we'll finish those guys off. That battle was actually a little bit trickier than I was kind of expecting it to be, but that's totally fine. And we still have the option to drop a heal on our White Witch at least. There we go. Okay, perfect. No casualties for us. Brand new city, which I think we are going to immediately migrate over to Frostlings. Now, should we leave a guard behind? That's the other question. Not a huge fan of these Royal Guard because of their capacity to kind of explode when they die. But yeah, you know what? I think we'll leave the pikemen behind just as a guard. Not a very good guard, of course, but at least some measure of a deterrent. We'll take this structure out while we're here as well. I know my units are kind of beat up, but I think we'll be okay. These horses aren't particularly scary at this point for me. I think we'll drop some health on our Yetis. We can send them in kind of as a... There we go. Well, they're gonna make us come to them, aren't they? That's kind of what it's looking like at this point. Got the nice web there. Let's see what kind of damage we can do with our ranged attacks here. There we go. We've already used our heals. Let's drop a Frozen Flames for a little extra XP. There we go. And while we're at it, let's do an Awakened. There we go. A little extra XP goes a long way. Dread Monkey. You know what? We'll take it just to have another base guard. Okay, normally I'm not a huge fan of those Dread Monkeys. They're kind of... I mean, they have their value, of course, but just to have that base guard I think will be good. Okay, so that was pretty good, and we'll send this unit again down to help deal with this. And also, eventually maybe to even send down and help clear this out. Just to do a little bit of cleanup on the home front, I think will be, again, very useful. I'm just going to take a quick drink, and then we will continue with this turn. So, obviously, as my empire is growing here, I've got more things to do. The turns will probably slow down a little bit, but that's okay because there's just more to do. So, stone wall might be nice to get another gold mine in this city's domain, so let's do that. I think that's going to be our best plan there. Let's start doing our production, I guess. So Dostara, we've built that builder. You know what? Let's build one more White Witch just to have, again, this kind of as bulletproof as we can. Obviously, that's not going to be entirely bulletproof, but I really don't want to lose my throne city, so... okay, we've got these two units kind of putzing around. They could actually pose a threat if they decide to attack me. But hopefully that will not happen. So now we got to decide what's happening up here. So Sheila and her unit went through the Shadow Realm portal, and I acquired these units from the tomb with Sheila. And I also had this Yeti, and I was sending them to be a base guard over here. But you know, I could probably form a little bit of a fighting force here. I just need a healer. I do have one in this Dwarf Reanimator, so Geez, these shock troopers are pretty powerful. Yetis are pretty good. We've got the makings of a pretty good army, actually. There's even some gold over there that would be good to grab, but I think I'm going to bring everybody kind of down and together. Here's another one, too. If you get a builder up here, you can put a fortress around in the terrain of this, territory of this, and get extra casting points, which is great. And were I anything but undead, this would also be good because then your units don't have Arctic terrain penalty. Although for me, because I'm undead, my units don't really seem to care too much about the weather. So not really as effective, but you still get the casting points either way. So, and then obviously the morale for if you're not undead as well. So yeah, I just got to think about this for a minute. So I think I would like to group this unit up and kind of do some exploring, maybe down to the left here. Maybe I could even capture the cities of Grelkas that are kind of hanging out there. So why don't we group them up? And I don't want to leave this city without a guard, though. That's the only thing. So much as it pains me, I might leave the shock trooper here as a guard for now. How far along is this city? I guess I could start producing units here, actually. Let's see. I'll make a cheetah, and because I would like to have these units all kind of involved here, because this would be a pretty strong little army. So there we go. These units can group up and kind of start heading down there. This city will have its at least one little feeble base guard to hopefully deter a little bit of action away from it, and then I'll build that up over the next couple turns. So, okay, we're back here. Newer drift. Did I move Draezad yet? He's in the Shadow Realm. But Draezad hasn't had his turn, so I would like to actually do this to kind of progress a little bit here. What is this? A gemstone mine. Interesting. Okay, let's do the city battle here. There's also a glass furnace. Ooh, a glass armory. What's that? Infantry +1 melee damage. Interesting. So there's kind of unique structures to this Shadow Realm that are here. That's quite cool. All right, let's siege this city. Just get another city in our command will be again very nice to have. So now we get to use our stone giant here with his awesome abilities. Let's destroy that gate. There we go. Now, what are we fighting? We're fighting some Knight Guards, which are, I think, pikemen, infused and touched. So the infused are tier 2. Yes, they are tier 2 units. They are infantry. They have shields. All right, well, we'll see if we can ghoul curse them, maybe. Well, we'll try with the regular curse. That didn't help us, but we got another try with it here. No such luck. You can always attack them with the reanimators too to soften them up a little bit. Let's see if maybe I can get despair or something to that effect. Interesting, they're staying up on the walls. What is this ability? Shadow Shift. Huh. Well, that's interesting. Alright, let's start hitting these units. Again, I'm quite inexperienced when it comes to the Shadow Elves here. So we'll just kind of have some fun with it. Start beating them up a little bit. Come in, let's see. We got a ghoul curse there. That's one base defender. And those units are cursed now. Ooh, immune. Let's see, can we drop any heals quick? Just make sure everybody's nice and healthy. Heal up our Deathbringer. There we go. So that battle went pretty well, and we got ourselves a base defender. Nice pikeman unit. So I guess now we can head down and grab that as well. Some extra research, that'll be good. Now let's decide what to do. Once again, I don't want to wait that long, but it would be nice to have one of these Shadow Elf cities. Wouldn't that be funny, turning it back into High Elves? Let's just turn it to Frostlings. Again, because they're ghouls and undead, they're not going to mind being in the Shadow Realm, so not too big a deal. Alright, so back to production here. Again, we are kind of low on money, which I'm, again, hoping to kind of fix with my... We got some items we could sell here. Let's sell this. Get a little bit extra gold. There we go. Yeah, that's not really of any value. I think orcs already get night vision, don't they? Yeah, there we go. And as an arc lich, you get night vision, so that unit, or that item's not particularly useful, so we can sell that off. There we go. Oh, and this hero actually, again, has a... Because we acquired this hero, I can level it up, so... we always want nature's resistance, that's a big one. Especially for orcs. Nourishing meal is always helpful. Spirit of the land for undead is good. And let's do... It's always nice having befriend animal on a druid, I think. I do like call ancestral spirits as an extra, so let's do that as well. There we go. That's pretty good. Okay, so now we're pretty set for gold, so I don't feel so bad if I spend a little bit on Newerdrift's situation here. So I think, what do we got? Only one ranged unit, so let's make another ranged unit. We'll get a, well, a regular anyway, because I don't want to wait 2 turns. So we'll do an ice scraper, just again to deter that attack, hopefully. Plus they have that nice chance to freeze with their little ice ball attack. Okay, Elrafon. Now we got to do the production. So Elrafon's that city that where the big battle against Sundrin happened, kind of dealt her that decisive blow that actually resulted in her resigning. I would like to get an Embalmer's Guild going, because I eventually do want to make some elves, but it would be good to... Oh, here we go. I forgot about this unit, so... You know what? Let's go clear that out. Maybe we can sell that item off, if it's something we don't really need. It's just some basic draconians here we can take out. So now I wonder, because these draconians are in the Shadow Realm, are they suffering from... Yeah, this unit is... Oh, this... Okay, because they're here, they're given immunity somehow. Either that or maybe draconians are racially immune to it or something. I'm not exactly sure. Something I'll have to look into with that mod again. Ooh, not quite. Well, we'll still cast it. Oof, that fire. Ouch. Take out those hatchlings, because boy, that fire is not fun to deal with. There we go. Oh boy, lifesteal is just keeps paying dividends. Yeah, that's perfect. We can sell that for a little bit of extra gold. Again, hopefully our economy situation is sorted out pretty quickly once I start building those structures that will, those fortresses that will allow me to have more gold income from those gold mines. Let's group up again. Let's head this way. Looks like we can get to, oh yeah, we can get to that city, so we might be able to siege it here. That would be quite nice. Excuse me. You know what? And let's send this little spider. We could actually just move as a hollow grove. Okay, so that's like a treasure structure. Neat. Yeah, we'll do a little bit of exploring and then send this spider to be a base guard, I guess. What is this? Celestial Pool. Oh, interesting. It's kind of like one of those wells of the undead, but it's a living unit equivalent. Can raid this as well for some extra knowledge. We will let that unit chill. Okay, so that does it for that turn. And we're going to run really low on gold, but it's okay. We've managed to get just enough to retain. Domain invasion, what's happening? Yeah, there we go. I suspected this unit might attack, so I'm glad I left. I'm glad I left that the way I did. Again, I can actually try for a ghoul curse on these guys here. So let's group up my units. We'll throw the serpent out front. I suppose now that my hero has Undying, which I always kind of forget about once I've got it, I can play this a little bit more aggressively with Sheila. So I don't think she has the ability to throw curse yet. That is something maybe I should start getting on my heroes just to aid that ability, as Z-Shoot had suggested. Oh, there we go. That's perfect. No such luck on the Ghoul Curse, but that's totally okay. We already have a base guard, so not the end of the world. It looks like this city is actually isolated from the surrounding area, so I think we will basically just head back through our portal here. We'll leave this guy as the base guard. There we go. Alright. Oh, we've increased our governance with orcs. Orc Greatsword Impale units dealing additional melee damage. Warhalls are cheaper. I think we'll actually increase the units in that instance. Domain invasion at Elrafon. I didn't see what went through our domain, so there must be some units floating around down here, so got to reinforce these cities quickly, I think. Ix has finished migration. That's something we'll have to deal with. Rotten Wall. This is a nice one if you're being attacked. Basically creates like a poison barrier along all of your walls, so quite a nice one. You know, Siphon Life might be nice to have as well. Or Dispel. You know what? Let's do Dispel. That's a good one, just to have as a wizard main leader ability. Only one turn to do it. Okay, so let's go find Ix. Okay, that's this one, right? That was the former Draconian city. So again, we'll start off with that Harvester's Guild, I think. Oh, and you know what? Before I start doing that, though, let's address our gold here. So we're in the positive now, but we need to make up some funds here. So once again, I'm going to try and do that with battling a little bit. There we go. We can win this battle pretty decisively, I think. Let's send all our units in just to get the advantage of whatever the structure. Oof, that stoning. Ouch. It's a pretty powerful spell here. So let's try and end this battle quickly so we don't have to deal with that anymore. There we go. Oh, ouch. Those stones hurt. Just drop a heal on our units, I guess, because they are not feeling so good. Alright, let's come in for the flank here. There we go. No gold, but at least our units got the buff there. So now we can move them in and try and get rid of this pesky spider. Or set of spiders, I should say. And you know what? I can even use befriend animal to maybe try and make friends with one of them and have another base guard or another unit for this army, as we've lost our unit here to be a guardian back there. So, okay, we're going to need gold income from someone else. So let's... Oh, well, you know what? Let's do this. There we go. Got a little bit of gold. That's an explored treasure site. So I'm guessing Grelka must have been up here. So why don't we go and we'll take this city over. If Grelka's already done some of the work for us, that must have been one of her cities before she surrendered. Of course, when the AI surrenders, you only get their throne city, it would appear. Oh, it would be nice to start raiding these Forbidden Sanctums, but without a hero and with kind of a hodgepodge unit here, I don't really want to risk that. I do want to use this Deathbringer to maybe get another support unit to act as a healer, because right now I've only got one healing unit, so it'd be good to have another healer. We'll just move this way and see what we find. Okay. So we are back underground. Would be kind of nice to clear out some of these structures, but I also, again, I do want to start pressing for finding Baradir here and whittling down his army, because again, the longer I wait, the more he's going to build up. It's going to be a bit of a pain to deal with. You know what? Let's use this guy to grab that. There we go, a little more gold. That's going to be helpful. Ziggurat's probably too strong for Wozek, even though his army's pretty powerful. I don't think he's quite at that level yet. Geez, I wonder if it'd be faster to take the water up to... You know what? Maybe that might be the plan here. Alright, these guys, they're elementals, and I don't think they're susceptible to Ghoul Curse. Otherwise, I might go in for that. Yeah, elementals are not affected, so we won't do that. I think we'll take Wozek. We'll go up here. We'll raid this. And then we will proceed up the river, I think is the plan for Wozek. And we'll head up to Baradir's cities and try and do some major damage to his army. And by the time he gets there, I'm looking to try and maybe have some surface armies reinforcing as well. I could send this unit down through the portal here to go underground. I think that'll be kind of the plan. Start funneling units that way. I'll also have a Earth Elemental I can summon as well, which will be good. Okay. So we've got a little bit of gold now, so I can start kind of working on my cities. So I would like to get that Harvester Guild going at Ix. Our new city, there we go. Okay, Soth. I think we'll just do merchandise for a few turns with a couple of these cities just to, again, build up our gold. Yeah, we'll get this city protected here. There we go. One thing, too, I should also, now that I've got this, I should build... So let's see, we want to build a fortress. So I'm going to build it right there so I get all three. I get 2 gold mines and a mana node, destruction node. So that'll give us kind of the most bang for our buck there. Call it Huron, sure. So that cost us a lot of gold to do, but in a couple of turns we'll have made that back just from having these 2 gold mines in our domain. So that was a really good call again by Z-Shoot for that. So let's see what else we have here. Okay, so that hero's already moved. Sheila's already moved. Draezad, I think, still has to move, so we'll deal with Draezad. And again, I want to do the stuff with the heroes here because, and my armies, because if I move them now, I might be able to... Oh, interesting. Scoundrel unit has moved through the portal. Now, where's the above ground? Huh, I wonder where that unit came from. There must be something north above ground there that it's coming through. Would be good to maybe take this out so it doesn't start threatening the city. Although, I think I can just do this and hopefully that's enough protection. Worst case, I'll just come back and retake it with Draezad. So if I go this way, I can do 2 battles. If I go up here, I can loop back around maybe. So this vegetation stuff is kind of dense to move through. But we'll do this first here. We'll try and get the resources. Okay, so as always when dealing with these wisps, I just have to keep in mind that they can teleport, but I mean, frankly, at this point I deal so much damage with my units that I'm honestly not really at all concerned about that. Wow. Just a disturbing amount of damage at this point. One thing to keep in mind when you're fighting those incorporeal units is that you won't get to use lifesteal. Same goes with machines. So that's actually Theocrats, or sorry, not Theocrats, Dreadnoughts can be a real pain in the butt for Necromancers to fight against because their units, you won't get that lifesteal bonus when you're fighting them because they don't have life technically because they're machines. So just something to keep in mind when you're, you know what, I'm going to try and Ghoul Curse this Mariner to have another base guard there, I think. It's kind of an interesting little tile set. I like this. Again, the people that worked on this mod, they did an incredible job. Just adds a ton of content to the game. Oh, nice. We got the curse on those Mariners. That's going to make this hopefully a little bit easier. 88%. We got it. Excellent. Yeah, having that curse on them before you do that is just a really, really big difference. Spirit elementals, they can take a bit of a pounding, can't they? We've got pretty solid resistances. Although they are weak to blight, which is quite helpful. So we'll hit them with the black bolts. Come in that way, and then why don't we... Actually, we do more damage throwing the boulder, so we'll throw the boulder. Oh! Almost a kill. And there we go. So we got our Mariner, and we took that out. Now can we get... No, we can't get all the way back up there, but... There we go. So we will, again, we'll try and clear this out for that extra research. And then we can, from there, we can proceed, continue exploring the Shadow Realm, I think. Let's see, what do we want to research next? Again, I'm not too worried about production at this point of units. I think we're doing really well for that. Phylactery would be nice. Just I can go really, really aggressive with Draezad, I guess. Although with Undying, I mean, he's already so tough. And you know what? In anticipation of fighting against Baradir, I think I'm going to do Greater Disjunction just to have that. Siphon Life would also be good just to heal my units. I think I'm going to do Greater Disjunction in anticipation of the upcoming battle with Baradir. In case he tries to, you know, hit my cities with anything or anything like that. Harvester's Guild. Need a little bit more cash for that. Do I have any extra items I don't really need? I almost never use some of these attacks. I think I'm going to just get rid of the crossbow, to be honest. There we go. Just a little bit extra money because I wanted to be able to build it this turn. Harvester's Guild, there we go. Or at least get it started this turn anyway. Okay, so we've got that building. Now, what about... Have we moved everybody else? I think all of our other units have essentially done their thing. So we'll just basically throw on merchandise for most of these cities because, again, we are still fighting against the limited income. But we're getting there. We're getting our finances in order, thanks to again, production of some of those we're about to be producing. See, I want to really start pumping these high elf stormbows out. Those are incredible units. A couple episodes ago, there was that incredible last stand from that stormbow against the dragon, and that was just unreal. So those units have now a special place in my heart after that. Oh, I forgot this unit can still move, so let's see what we've got here. Well, we'll clear out these shadow demons, and then we'll proceed into the domain of this city and see what we've got. So this is Shadow Demon Harvester. Interesting. This is another new one for me. A tier 3 unit. Shadow Demon. Oh, and it can spawn larvae. That's what it does. Devours target corpse before giving birth orally to a Shadow Demon larva. I wonder if that keeps it around after the battle. That's interesting. Oh, those are units that might be kind of fun to play with eventually. You know, maybe I think I'll probably do maybe. My instinct has been so far, I'm thinking I'm going to do an Archdruid next. Again, Necromancer is the class that I play probably the most. Actually, definitely the most. And it's the one I feel the most comfortable playing. But I'm going to try, I think, an Archdruid next. But it might be fun after another round or two of doing additional playthroughs. I think I might try a Shadow Elf playthrough and just really kind of take that for a spin and see how it goes. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think in the comments. You know, if you'd be interested in me trying out the Shadow Elves and kind of putting the mod through its paces, I think that would be a lot of fun. But if you have something else you'd like me to try or something you're interested in seeing, again, let me know. Okay, so this city looks like it was a draconian city that got essentially taken over by these shadow demons. They probably spawned from that spawner and then took the city over. So it looks like we're going to have to do some reclamation, as it were. So first things first, we don't want our ogre here to die, so we're going to run him back and drop a nice big heal. And then we're going to advance our dragon a little bit and see what happens. Now they're probably going to drop in on us. Oh, they didn't. Okay. Well, that's going to give us the opportunity to... Oh, we've got that obstructed penalty. Well, that's okay. Still get 2 of them. We'll send the Wraith in just to help in case anything crazy happens here. There we go. No worries there. And the nice thing about that battle is I was able to heal up the ogre a little bit, so that was good. Move up the road just a bit here. Yeah, and I think this will be kind of a fun battle. We can take that city out, and again, we'll have another city. And then there's a portal here. Where would this go? Oh, interesting. So that's the portal up. Actually, having this unit back up here might be useful to help reinforce some of the things going on up here. So we could even come and clear out this Raven's Keep and grow this city. And also here, this quarry needs to be cleared. So there's a lot. There's this as well. There's a lot of work for that unit to do. So that's actually really good. You know, I want one more base guard there, I think. So we'll make one more cheetah. There we go. Draezad still has some movement. We'll just tell him to chill out. Right, I was going to send this unit just as a quick scouting adventure down here. Let's see what we find. Okay, it looks like we're on another little island. Let's see what it kind of looks like. I don't see any cities or anything of any not sure what this is. Some kind of raidable structure, maybe. Some Archons here. Farm. Gemstone mine. That's interesting. It adds gold and mana. So, a couple of treasure structures here, but nothing too crazy. And I think that's about where our turn is going to end. Boy, vassling this was pretty nuts in that you get these tier 4 guards there. Yeah, so that's the extent of this turn. It would also be nice to eventually clear this lost city, although that's going to be a pretty tall order. Without maybe if I can get Draezad's unit back through and then over there on his way to going underground to help attack Baradir. I should also probably look around up here. I'm guessing there's going to be a pathway underground somewhere over here. So that would allow me to really directly assault Baradir's armies. Maybe over here as well I can look. Because again, underground, this is where his cities are. So I'm guessing his throne is somewhere around here. I don't know exactly, but and again, Wozniak is going to clear this. Maybe try and recruit something from there. Maybe I'll get like a troll or something. That would be fantastic. And then I'm going to head up the river to, in a few more turns, I'll start moving towards Baradir. So still got a lot of work to do. This game is far from over. And who knows how strong Baradir's forces will be. I'm positioned pretty well. I've got, I've expanded into the Shadow Realm. I've expanded underground. And I'm really starting to do well in the overworld. And again, I'm getting my economy in order. So we're cleaning house and we're making progress. Things are going well for Draezad. But with that, I think this is about where I'm going to cut it off for episode 8. Let's zoom out and just kind of get a nice... Boy, that's looking good with all that Frostling blue there in the overworld. So I think, yeah, that's where we're going to save it. So we'll save the game here, as always. We'll call this one episode 8. And once again, thank you all for watching. I'll see you in the next one.